Hey C3 and C4 students, thanks for tuning into our YouTube channel today to hear a devotion. This is our week 8 of this Genesis series that we've been doing, and this is my first time doing a few of them, so I'm excited to get to talk to everybody. And this passage for today is Genesis 28, 13 through 14, if you want to look it up in your phone or in your Bible. It says, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. I am with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. And this passage is God renewing his covenant with Jacob. This is Abraham's grandson. So 2 weeks ago we talked about the covenant that Abraham sent him and his wife Sarah into the nation that he was going to provide for them, but hadn't yet told him where he was sending them. So now we have Jacob, the grandson of Abraham, and the son of Isaac, which was Abraham's son. And Jacob actually ran away from his home. He cheated his brother out of his inheritance, and he was not a hero in the Bible. He was a liar, he was crafty and manipulative and even selfish. And his rebelliousness forced him to flee his home and all of his family. And he's not unlike the prodigal son, where you've heard about. He left his home within his inheritance to live wildly and live freely, and then return back to his home. When Jacob, actually sleeping outside one night, God appeared to him for the first time ever in a dream. And God explained the covenant that he had with his father Isaac, Jacob's father Isaac, and his grandfather Abraham. And now I'm not sure, we don't know if Jacob even knew about all these promises, if it had gotten lost in generations, if Isaac didn't pass down those promises to Jacob. But he definitely wasn't following God at this point in his life. He fled, he was a liar, he was dishonest, like we said. But God still had blessings in store for Jacob. He still had a plan for Jacob, despite Jacob's decisions to flee his home, to cheat his brother, and to ignore his promises that God had made to his family. And so God is going to bless Jacob. God's showing Jacob kindness, love, and grace, even though he didn't earn it at all. In this part of the story, only Jacob's parents and grandparents had faith in God. But Jacob had never really expressed any sort of real faith. But he decided that if God could keep his promise to make the nation, like the verse said, to watch over him, to bring him back to the land that he has promised him, then he would be faithful to God. And so this is maybe relatable to you, having parents or grandparents that have this great faith in God and have all these beliefs, but you don't quite understand that. You don't get that yet. You may not even believe in what they believe. But Jacob always wrestled with his faith with God, and he wrestled with his parents and grandparents, and it just didn't come easy for him. And so later in Genesis, God actually gave Jacob this new name, Israel, which you've probably heard of, which literally means wrestles with God, describing Jacob's faith journey of always just wrestling with his faith. And Israel is the name that represented all of his descendants. So we want to think about yourself. Do you feel like your faith comes easy? Like Abraham had such an amazing faith, and so did Isaac. Is that you? Are you like Abraham or Isaac? Or are you more like Jacob? Is it hard for you to follow God? Is it hard for you to understand his promises and his plan for your life? And whatever it may be, and maybe you're even in a season now of doubting God and what he's going to do for you and in your life and how he's blessing you, I want you to think about God's grace and how he is just so constantly loving you, despite whether you're rebellious or whether you listen to him or not. Because we can never earn God's grace and God's forgiveness. He gave that to us freely on the cross. So think about that, reflect about that. Think about how you're like Jacob, or maybe you're like Abraham and Isaac. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I see you around soon this summer.